Taylor is angry at his manager for paying him too much. Taylor is furious at his manager for paying him lots of money for the simple job that he does as a cashier within the supermarket. Taylor was livid, and when his manager told him that he was going to be paying him a super large salary for a simple job as cashier, his dreams had crashed down all around him. Taylor's manager smiled at him, but he knew that his manager's smile had a sinister plot behind it. Taylor started shouting at his manager for doing such an act, and he knew why he had raised his salary by so much. The manager didn't care for the job or for the employee Taylor. Rather, the manager didn't want his shadow to be pink anymore. The manager has been getting harassed by the public for having a pink shadow. So now to change his color on the shadow, he must do things like unreasonable raising a worker's salary to unreasonable amounts. There is also another reason why the manager had raised Taylor's salary. Taylor is at university, and he has to do a thesis on the positives of having a miserable life. This thesis is important, and Taylor wants to pass it. Taylor thought that he could write such a thesis because his life was depressing, and so he could try to find some positives from a depressing life and write a great thesis, and then this will open doors for him. His manager knew what he was doing at university, and by increasing his salary by loads of money, he will not have such a miserable life. Taylor shouted at his manager to lower his salary to even lower standards to what he was paying before. The manager said no, and Taylor knew it was because his manager didn't want him to succeed at university. At the same, his manager tried everything to change the color on his shadow to anything else other than pink. At times the color changed, but it then went back to pink. Then, as Taylor argued with his manager about his large salary, Taylor grew angrier. Taylor was earning so much money that his miserable life wasn't miserable anymore, and his manager was actually getting in trouble himself for paying Taylor that much from his managers, and also suffering bullying from the public for his pink shadow. Taylor was earning so much money that he didn't know any more about the positives of having a miserable life. Because Taylor's manager knew that Taylor had saved so much money after a year, the manager offered Taylor to write his thesis for him on the positives of a miserable life. Taylor's manager was having a miserable life himself, and Taylor gave all his saved-up money to his manager. Then when Taylor's manager wrote the positives of a miserable life as a ghostwriter for Taylor, and Taylor's thesis was accepted, Taylor's manager's shadow finally changed color. Then one day Taylor found that his manager was now his shadow and will be with him for the rest of his life. His manager will get to enjoy the success Taylor will get.